तस्यै प्राञ्चो विस्मयस्ता एवास्य प्राञ्चो मधुनाढ्यः ऋचयेव मधुकृतर्गऋग्वेद एव पुष्पं ता अमृता आपस्तावा एता ऋचः. Is the shloka said about the first line on this. Those which are the eastern rays, they themselves are its eastern cells. Some whichever part from whichever from whichever consciousness the rays are passed, they draw the jnanam again from the objects, from those creations, from that which is available. Assimilate on the eastern part of the sun, they said. If it is the eastern rays on the eastern part, whichever jnanam is projected, that amount, that one, the principle behind is that whichever jnanam is projected, that is the result of the jnanam that accumulated in you, or receiving back in you, or experiencing you experiencing, you experimenting and experiencing will be as per that which is being projected from you. It's called eastern rays will go to eastern side. That what is projected by you will be getting by you. That which is to be projected has to be the absolute jnanam. Then only the result will be absolute jnanam. If it is the ignorance or ajnanam that is projected, you are receiving the ajnanam by experimental experience. By something, whatever is projected, whatever is thought, that's why the thoughts. Again, I thought, we have already clarified about the thought in the previous classes. It depends on that how the projection comes. This, when it is disturbed, when it is agitated, when it is disturbed, the results also getting disturbed. One will not find the right way. That's how one gets confused. One doesn't know which is the right way. Or one thinks that is the right way and goes on and then committing mistakes on the same path, keeps on thinking that that is right. So this Madhu, like the Madhu, Rashmayata evasta prancho Madhu Nadya, like the veins of the Madhu, they say called this. Like we called about the bees, how they collect this. The Rashmi is that the rays from how the molecules of water being evaporated in each and every small portion. Like the Madhu collects that, like the bee collects the Madhu drop by drop. The jnanam that is projected, from that only it has to be derived. In everything that is created by the Lord, there is jnanam. In Prakriti, that is why the saying is that to be with the Prakriti, they say that, to be with the nature, to be with the Prakriti, doesn't mean that stay in the jungle. People have easily found out some literal meanings of that. No, staying among the woods. I am staying in the Prakriti. Need not be a good person. Ratnagar also was staying there in the woods. He was not a jnani till he met Narada. So it is not that. The nature, Prakriti in the sense, the Prakrityam. Prakriti is that which is projected by the Purusha, the Prakriti, which is the Dharmam, which is the Dharmic way, which is the field of the Dharma. It's a field of the Dharmam is that Prakriti. Prakriti is the nature of the human. See, what is his nature, we say? Nature of the human, nature of the Atma. There is nothing called nature of the human. See, that's called the nature of the Atma only. That's called Prakriti. Nothing else is Prakriti. We conveniently, translate Prakriti into many things. His Prakriti, that he doesn't have a Prakriti. His Prakriti is the Prakriti only, that Prakriti of the Atma, Prakriti of the Parabrahman. That is what it is. So, Prakrityaha. So, to be with the Prakriti, to be with the nature means to be with the Prakriti. So, in the Prakriti, in the nature, there is Jnanam. So, to absorb that Jnanam, the Jnanam that is projected by you should be the absolute Jnanam, then only the experimental experience or experience that you are deriving would be the same. Otherwise, you will have the same result as you are projecting. If you pour milk in the tea or coffee, it will have the taste of the milk. If you pour something else, some other thing, then you will have the taste of that. It's absolutely same way, see, because that is what you derive out of it. So the projection should be that. So prancho, like the madhu, like the bee. When the bee leaves the beehive, its intention is only to go to the flowers where the honey is stored. That too, the type of the honey that is required for that particular bee. There are various types, I said. So that particular bee will go only to that honey in order to take it and then take back to beehive. His intention and his direction of movement and his function, his karma, everything will be for the purpose of that alone. There is no other deviation. He doesn't go here and there. The sensory system that has been provided to him or the indriyas that has been provided to the bee will sense the honey that is provided. As we have the sensory system, this also indicates where that whatever needed by us is available. We only think that we misuse them, that's all. Whereas the bee is concerned, he uses the sensory system to sense where the honey is, not to sense something else is there or not. He doesn't look for something else. But we use the sensory system for everything other than what is required. Is how we commit sins. That is why it is known as sins. So you use the sensory system. Sensory system has been given in order to provide the necessary experimental experiences from which that we gain the knowledge. So the prancho, so that is what the meaning of the eastern rays will collect the result to the eastern side of it. Like that, east, west, north, south, everything will go. The meaning is that, so that what is projected by you. So he wanted to show us, tell us that in the morning sun, when the rising sun comes, it has a different color. The sun in the afternoon has different, setting sun has different color. They all depend upon the rays that has been accumulated, the experiences that has been accumulated in the jnanam. So absolutely, again the sun ray comes from the sun only, from the jnanam only. So like the jnanam that is projected in the morning, it projects certain kind of rays and it accumulates the experimental experiences in certain ways. So it goes to that and produces that color in the sun. So that which has been drawn by you by projecting certain jnanam from you, that experimental experience that you derive jnanam from that will have the same color of that what you have drawn from this. Your jnanam will have the same color. Color in the sense that your jnanam will be that's all, the same color. So the color depends upon that what you have projected and what you have accumulated or accrued in you. This is what the Maharshi would like to say. Rija eva madhukrita rigveda eva pushpa. Then he says that how he gives an example to that. Rigveda eva pushpam ta amrita apasta va eta richa. Richa eva madhukrita, like the Rik mantras. Richa eva madhukrita. The Rik mantras are madhukrita, the bees. Rik mantra is the bees. Rig Veda is the Pushpa because Rig Veda has got Brahmana and the Padya in that, both are there. So both together is a Pushpa, and so Rig Veda is a Pushpa. Apa, the Jala water, is that which is the nectar which is extracted from that honey. And they which are verily these Rig mantras. So the verses and the mantras, the verses and the brahmanas of the Rig Veda, verses and brahmanas put together becomes a Pushpa. Pushpa has got various things. It has got petals, it has got those various parts, stem and other parts in that. The combination of all together is called a Pushpa. Put together, there are like that. Vedam, Rig Vedam is called because of the Brahmanas are there, verses are there, and there are so many other things put into that, musical and things like that. These are known as the Pushpa. Put together is the Pushpa. From which the Rig mantra that is being chanted from the part of the Pushpa is mantra. That is called the middle part of it. That is the mantra. So that mantra, from where the mantra, Rig mantra is the bees. Mantra is the bee, Pushpa is this. So where will the mantra go? Into the Pushpa only. So where the Rig Veda, whether it is Brahmana or verse, where it contains in the Rig Veda only. Same way the bee belongs to the Pushpa, or the Pushpa belongs to the bee, is what ultimately comes to. The bee belongs to the Pushpa. It has got only one destination. When it comes from the honey beehive, its destination is Pushpa. When it leaves the Pushpa, after collecting the honey, it goes to the hive. There is no other direction that it has. Same way, the Rig mantras doesn't have any other direction other than either in the mantra itself, in the Brahmana, or in the verses it's there. Mantra or the Brahmana, or to be chanted by the one and experience it and gain out of it. These are the only destinations the bee has got, Rig mantra has got. The mantra doesn't go anywhere else. From the Rig Veda, the mantra taken out, let us think it as a bee, mantra taken out, will not go anywhere. If I read it, it will be chanted by me. After chanting, it goes back again to the Rig Veda. It doesn't get, it gets deposited and accumulated in the Veda only. And again from the Veda, if I chant, again it goes. In this process of circulation, of going to the Veda and coming to the mantra, and again to the Veda and mantra, in between the yajna being done, and through the yajna being done, the apa, that is called the apa is the jalam, the water. What are the water? The waters are those that which is oblated into the yajna kunda, that is the, it can be milk, it can be gridam, it can be many liquids that is being poured, they are all apa only. When the apa comes in contact with the fire, the agni in the yajna kunda, the apa, the jalam, that is the jalam means what here? Again, I will come back to that when we convert into the Veda and the mantra. The jala, when it is poured into the fire, when the chantings are going on, because of the temperature of the fire, the flame of the fire coming in contact with the flame, contact with the temperature, this jala plus the mixture of various byproducts and products like milk, ghritam and jalam, etc., all get mixed together. They all become one jala and comes in contact with the fire, and they produce a byproduct from that or a product from that, or whatever impurities from that is being removed and something is left out. is called the Amritam. Is called the nectar or the Amrita. That which is immortality, that which is immortal. That anymore, after the fire has burnt it. What is called immortality? That after the fire has burnt it and has reduced into some substance, whatever shape and form and then an akriti, akara, it has been created. From that, no more changes can be brought by anyone in that. Because once the Agni brings the changes, after that, no changes can be brought by any of the substances in the universe. Yes. That is called Amritam. That's called immortality, is what Maharishi says. So that is why in the Yajna-kunda, same way, when you take it into the Jnanam, the Rigveda mantra, taken from the Vedas, chanted it in its rhythm, in its method, in its rhythm means rhythm is not only the raga in which one is being chanted here. Don't misunderstand this. Mantra chanting in a rhythm, in the sense, what is the rhythm now? One should understand all this. When a mantra is chanted, not just chanting that, no, Tasye prancho rashmayatya evasa prancho madhuratya is also chanting. Whereas the mind, the jnanam, the shariram, the shraddha, bhakti, and being, to merging into that mantra and submitting yourself into the mantra and you becoming the mantra and providing is called the submission of the mantra or rhythm of the mantra. If the mantra is chanted by someone, it is not in a rhythm. Yes. The mantra has to be chanted by the mantra, then it is rhythm. Right? The mantra should be chanted by the mantra is rhythmic. Mantra chanted by someone else other than the mantra is not the rhythm. In the sense, mantra will not chant itself. You know that. We all know that. That what does it mean? That which is absolutely equal. Like in order to find the you used to tell always that. To be a Parabrahma Sakshatkari, you have to be like the Parabrahman. Then only you can be a Parabrahma Sakshatkari. Your mind should be in an attitude and aptitude to see something, then only you can see it. So seeing is done by whom? Seeing is done by the mind. So when the mind is attracted towards that particular thing, then you become that. Whenever you are seeing something in front of you, what happens? You become that. Actually, you are not existing there. That what you are seeing is existing. Yes. When we see, that is why we always say that, pray to the God. Why? From the childhood it is being told to us that it is nothing